class, our online lesson. I'm Nehemiah Kalafidia, Home Economics, JSS1. Last lesson we discussed about family. See, what's the meaning of a family? The roles of family members, like the father, the mother, and the children. Today we'll be seeing family tree. What is a family tree? It's just like how a tree has branches. The same thing, family also have branches. And these branches have their own significance. So, in the different type of family members relate to each other in special ways. Their relationship pattern can now be called as kinship pattern. You discover one will say, this is my uncle, this is my aunt, she's my cousin sister, he's my nephew. All these relationships that are moving from one generation to another generation is a family tree and is being termed as kinship. A family tree is a graphic or diagram that shows kinship pattern of a family. It shows how family members relate to each other. So now, if you are the one, you are the one. I am Kalafidia. I have my own father. I have my own mother. This is a first generation. In this first generation again, my mother. Now, I have my grandmother. I have my grandfather in the side of my mother. At the side of my father, I have a grandfather, I have a grandmother. This is a second generation. And once this generation continues, you discover that the grandmother also have her own father, and we will term that one as great-grandmother or great-grandfather. At the side of my father too, his father has his own father, which is also a great-grandfather. This is a third generation. Continuously, once you are tracing the history of my family, you discover that the history continues till the time that you cannot count. So, all this history of this person is from this person, it is a family tree. And these relationships that are linking this to this person, it is what we term as kinship. Now, look at your own family over there and then just term them or name them as I've named my own. In this relationship or kinship pattern, how can we explain it? Who are your parents? Who are your uncles? You cannot see anybody by the roadside because he's big, he is old enough, and you say, this is my uncle. Or you call him uncle. Is not bad because that is African culture. But once you follow it gradually, he is not your uncle. Now, parents. Who are parents? Your parent is your father and your mother. That's those that give birth to you. They are your parents. Others can say biological parent or non-biological parent, but what you should understand, once they said parent, anytime you hear parent, parent refers to your father and your mother. Secondly, we have siblings. Siblings are your brothers and your sisters. Instead, you said, for example, Mimi and Audu are my brothers. Just said, they are my siblings. Grandparent. Who are your grandparents? Your grandparents are your parents' parents. So an old man in your environment that did not give birth to your parents or give birth to one of your parents is not your grandma or your grandfather. They are only old. But once you say grandparent, they are parents' parents. Great-grandparent. Great-grandparent, they are grandparent, parent. Great-grandparent, they are grandparents of parent. Now, your father and your mother, their own father and their own mother, they are your grandparent. Then great-grandparent, the father of your mother, his own father is now your great-grandparent. Next we have uncles. Uncles is mother or father brother. Once you said uncle, that's that person, that man or that your man is related, is your mother or your father brother. Aunts or aunties. Aunt is your mother or father's sister. Aunt is your mother or your father's sister. Then we have nephew. Your nephew are your brothers or your sister's sons. Once your brother or your sister get married and delivered a boy, that boy is your nephew. But once she or he deliver a baby girl, that girl is your niece. So niece is your brother or your sister daughter. Then we have first cousins. First cousins are your uncles or your auntie's children. They are your uncles or your auntie children. We have grandchildren. A person's children's children. Now, if I give birth to my own children and my children get married and deliver children or give birth to children, they are my grandchildren. Then great-grandchildren, a person's grandchildren's children. Once I give birth to my children grow up and get married, give birth to their own children. They are my grandchildren, and those grandchildren give birth to their own children. Their children now are my great-grandchildren, and the rest of them. In our next video, we'll watch another package.